Hello, welcome to Late to the Party, the show where I play games that have lost relevancy to see exactly what I've missed out on. As this is the first episode, I want to explain what the show is and how exactly it'll work. Each episode, I play a game that is at minimum a year or two old. I'll give you guys my first impressions of the game, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, and overall if I think it was worth me going back and playing. And for this episode, we are starting with Sonic Adventure DX. I do also want to premise the fact that not all the footage that I use is mine. So anytime I do use footage that isn't mine, I'll put credit on the screen and links down in the description. I'll be honest, I've never really enjoyed Sonic. I always felt it was too fast-paced, and I just prefer playing Mario instead. With that said, the last Sonic game I even remotely attempted to play was Sonic 06 way back in the day. Now, of course, this was not my first experience with Sonic. I played a little bit of the original Sonic and Sonic 2 for the Sega Genesis on the Wii Virtual Console when I was young, but past that, I haven't really touched a Sonic game. I'd always start and then get into the second zone and die and then have to start all over again. However, I have also noticed that a lot of Sonic fans do not agree on what the best Sonic game is, let alone what era of Sonic is the best. One thing I have heard is a lot of Sonic fans saying that Sonic Adventure is pretty good. So, I bought it on Steam since I don't have a GameCube or a Dreamcast, and began playing it. I won't lie, this got me really excited for the game. Overall, you have 7 total campaigns. Sonic's, Tails, Knuckles, Amy's, Big the Cat's, E103Y's, or as he's referred to in the game, Gamma, and the final campaign, Super Sonic. Each all having the same plot, but just from different perspectives. If you want to know the plot, I'd recommend you either play the game if you're a Sonic fan, or if you don't support capitalism, I recommend this video by Benko Monkey, linked down in the description. Each character has a different playstyle and objective. Sonic is your normal everyday Sonic gameplay, get to the end of the stage as fast as you can. Tails is very similar, but you're racing Sonic to the end of the stage. Knuckles' campaign has you go around and find 3 emeralds in each stage. Amy's goal is to run away from Zero and complete the stage by grabbing the balloon at the end. Big the Cat's gameplay is just literally a fishing minigame. And Gamma has you go around the stage capturing flickies from robots. Then lastly, Super Sonic is just facing the final boss, Perfect Chaos. I'd say that my personal favorites out of all the campaigns is either Sonic or Tails. They're both pretty inoffensive in terms of gameplay, and I think once I got to Knuckles' campaign, that's when I started to dislike this game. It wasn't like I disliked Knuckles' campaign specifically. By the time I had gotten to his campaign, I was 6 hours of gameplay in, and I had heard the same tracks repeatedly. Honestly, one of the main killjoys of the game was the music. I swear, the background music haunts my nightmares. They aren't long, and it's the same 5-second loop of either chanting or drums. Crush 40 absolutely killed it with their music because it's Crush 40. Like I said earlier, that intro had me excited to dive in. I was really hoping that I was going to enjoy this game. Looking back on my footage, a lot of the problems I had faced stem from the fact that I'm just not really good at Sonic games. Put me in front of a standard platformers and I'll kick its ass, but for some reason with Sonic games it just doesn't click. I had already gotten the story twice by this point, gotten stuck and needed to walk through more times than I'd like to admit. Amy's campaign just made me feel nothing but pain. I also know that the fanbase, mostly as a collective, wants to punt Amy across the room. Even Sonic would love to spin dash her into the fucking stratosphere. Luckily she had the shortest campaign out of all of them, but even then I just really hated her campaign. By the time I got to Big the Cat's campaign, it was just such a nice change of pace that I lingered on that for longer than I should have. By the time I had gotten to Gamma's campaign, I was so sick of the game that I didn't even remember what his gameplay loop was and had to go back in my footage to remember. Originally, after I was done with Gamma's campaign, I didn't even touch Supersonic for like a week. I had originally crammed the rest of the campaigns in a week. If I wanted to even play any more at this point, I just needed to take a break from it. I think a lot of that stems from me just not being much of a Sonic fan. I personally enjoyed the final boss fight, but I think a lot of it got overshadowed by the annoyances I had experienced throughout the game prior. I didn't really have a problem with the graphics, as I know that the port for Steam is not exactly a looker. I could have installed a mod for Sonic Adventure that makes it look a whole lot better, with better lighting and smoother models. But graphics don't really make a game amazing, the gameplay does. You can have a game that looks like a James Cameron movie, but if its core gameplay doesn't feel right to you, then it's just not your kind of game. Which is unfortunate, because when I went into this, I was really hoping I'd come out with at least somewhat of an appreciation for the Sonic games. But I didn't. Would I call Sonic Adventure DX a bad game? No. A lot of my opinion has to do with the fact that I'm just not really much of a Sonic fan. Who knows though, maybe I just chose the wrong game to start with. One day I might go back and play some of the original 2D Sonics, and see if I like those better maybe now that I'm more of a competent person. Overall, I think that wraps up the first installment of Late to the Party. My name is Dilbert, and let me know what you guys think. Feel free to let me know what games you'd like to see me cover down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next party. See ya!